The flash of cameras, the hum of whispers from the wood-paneled courtroom, and in the midst of it all, Robyn Brown remains immobile. She glances frantically from the judge to the audience gallery, where Christine, Janelle, and Meri, the OG3, sit in tandem for the first time in years. They're not there as co-wives, not as co-conspirators in the concept of Kody's family togetherness, but as plaintiffs. They seek justice, they seek revenge, and the figure the judge just delivered is one to shock the sister wives world to its core. $2.8 million. The gavel comes down, resounding like thunder. Robyn's mansion, the very symbol of her being Kody's favorite wife, is on the chopping block. A court mandate has ordered that the sprawling Flagstaff mansion, with its high ceilings and sweeping vistas of the surrounding mountains, be sold. The money will settle debts Robyn and Kody are accused of concealing, debts which the OG3 believe should have been theirs to divide, debts which could rewrite the entire history of sister wives. This isn't a courtroom drama. This is betrayal, anger, and revenge all rolled into one explosive court fight. For years, fans sat back and watched Kody lavish Robyn with attention, cash, and shielding, while the other women were abandoned, discarded like appendages to his love story. But now the OG3 have turned it around. They're together, they're angry, and for the first time, they may just take it. Imagine the anxiety in that courtroom. The walls lean forward, the air is heavy, and all eyes are fixed on Robyn as the judge hands down the devastating punch. Her hands shake, her lips tremble, she utters a few words to her attorney, but no one can make out what they are. All anyone can see is the woman who was once above reproach standing on the precipice of destruction, and yet, behind Robyn's glassy tears, there is something else. Fear? Certainly, but also determination. Because if you think Robyn Brown is just going to surrender $2.8 million without a fight, you don't know her at all. This is the story of how years of family fractures exploded into a courtroom showdown, of how jealousy, financial secrets, and broken promises turned sister wives from a reality show into a real-life legal battlefield. And by the end of this story, you'll be asking yourself one chilling question. Was this always about love, or was it always about money? So buckle up, because we're going to enter a realm of lawsuits, betrayals, and jaw-dropping courtroom revelations. And let me tell you, once you hear what the OG3 discovered, you'll never watch sister wives in the same light again. The morning starts like any day in Flagstaff, Arizona, but for the Brown family, things are no longer normal. Outside the Coconino County Courthouse, there are groups of reporters. Camera operators fight for the optimal shot. Headlines flash on national news tickers. Sister wives legal battle. Robyn Brown, ordered to pay $2.80 million. Within, the air vibrates with the tension of a storm about to hit. The judge's bench towers above, papers neatly piled, but the burden of decades of polygamy weighs in each corner of the room. Christine is seated rigidly, her jaw locked, eyes staring hard at Robyn. To her side, Janelle toys with her wedding band, now a reminder of marriage, not years lost. And there's Meri, unyielding, her face impassive, but her presence undeniably powerful. The bailiff says, "Court is now in session." The note resounds, and all movement ceases. Robyn arrives, accompanied by her lawyer. She is dressed in a blue blazer, her hair pulled back tightly, her face well rehearsed. But the flashing cameras capture each flash of fear in her eyes. She understands what's on the line. She understands the mansion that had been her sanctuary might soon be lost. Her house wasn't merely a dwelling, it was the most concrete indication of Kody's favoritism, the grandiose property that sucked away family money, while the other wives cramped. And now, the very thing that makes her special is the tool being wielded against her. Christine leans over toward her attorney, her whisper razor-sharp, "This is justice." Finally, Janelle only nods gently, but her eyes sparkle with something more. This is not only about finances, it's about survival. Decades of combined bank accounts, business ventures, and trust broken when Kody invested in Robyn's realm, and the others were left to scavenge for leftovers. Meri sits quietly, hands together, but her mind racing. This isn't about revenge for her. This is about closure. For years, she bore the burden of being Kody's first wife, the woman who gave up everything when he divorced her to wed Robyn lawfully. Now, seeing Robyn squirm in the judge's attention feels like it's a reckoning. The judge clears his throat. We are in court today to hear the monetary claims against Robyn Brown regarding the funds in dispute of $2.8 million. The court has heard the evidence, and the order is as follows. All heads in the room lean forward. Even the reporters pause in typing, fingers poised above their keyboards. The Brown Mansion property at North Boulder Drive shall be sold within 60 days. Proceeds from the sale will go towards the payment of the debt owing to the plaintiffs, Christine Brown, Janelle Brown, and Meri Brown. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Christine closes her eyes for a brief second, letting the words sink in. Janelle exhales sharply, relief and disbelief colliding. Meri's lips curl into the faintest smile, a smile years in the making. But Robyn? Robyn clutches the edge of the defendant's table, as if it alone is supporting her. Her lawyer talks to her in a frightened whisper, but she doesn't hear him. She's looking straight ahead, breathing shallowly. Everything in her world has changed in a moment. And then it does. Robyn speaks, her voice filling the silence. This isn't fair, she says, her tone trembling but sharp. This house? It's my children's home. You're not just taking money, you're tearing apart my family. The judge raises a hand, silencing her. Mrs. Brown, the decision is final. The gavel strikes. It's over, or at least the first round. But as the court adjourns, Christine turns to Janelle and Meri, and whispers, this is only the beginning. Because while the mansion is being ordered sold, rumors circulate that there's more to it than meets the eye. Secret accounts, illicit transfers, secrets even Robyn might not want revealed. And if the OG3 are correct, this $2.8 million is merely the beginning. Suppose I told you that the sale of the $2.8 million mansion was just the beginning, and that even more explosive secrets regarding Kody and Robyn's finances are about to blow? As Robyn emerges from the courthouse, reporters cluster, microphones poked in her face, but tears don't appear on her face. A different look crosses her face, anger, raw, seething anger. And with that, she takes a deep breath and says under her breath to her lawyer, they'll regret this. The camera cuts, the blackness freezes on screen, with only one question left unanswered. What is Robyn going to do next? The air outside the courthouse is chilly, and should not be for an Arizona afternoon. The pack of reporters mizzles, microphones flashing like guns, but Robyn doesn't blink. She strides forward, her lawyer fighting to keep up, her lips compressed into a tight line. Behind her the OG3 surface, Christine chin held high, Janelle rock solid but shaken visibly, and Meri walking like a woman who's borne this burden too long, and has at last laid it down. But what the cameras fail to record, what only those who are standing close enough to hear will ever recall, is the one sentence Robyn whispers into her lawyer, as she swats through the horde. They'll regret this, every single one of them. That instant hangs in the air, suspended like smoke. In the silence of her mansion, soon to be on the market, Robyn slams the door shut. The house is different now, empty though the walls still resonate with the laughter of her children, and the scent of cinnamon from her kitchen. She strides across the marble floor, her heels pounding angry and sharp. Kody waits, perched at the end of the couch. His hair is tied back, his jaw clenched. He does not stand to meet her. Instead, he asks the one question they both know has no better response. What did the judge say exactly? Robyn whirls, her voice breaking, rising in humiliation. They're taking it, Kody. They're taking the house. Our house. The one you said would be safe. Kody drags his hand down his face, the way he does when he wants to buy time. His silence only fuels her rage. You told me this would never happen. Robyn spits. You said we'd be fine. That no judge would touch us. And now? Now we're about to lose everything. But what if losing the mansion is only the beginning? What if the OG3 know about accounts and assets that Robyn and Kody thought were untouchable? While they wait, meanwhile, the atmosphere at Christine's house is nearly festive, but tinged with fear. Christine puts out mugs of herbal tea, her hands trembling. Janelle leans across the table, tugging on her sweater cuff, and Meri stands by the window, gazing out at the darkening sky over Flagstaff. Christine speaks at last. This is a victory. I mean $2.8 million. That's true accountability. For once Robyn can't use Kody as cover. Janelle breathes out, but it doesn't sound like relief. It's a beginning. But Christine, do you honestly believe this will silence her? Robyn isn't going to roll over and give us that money. She'll fight. She'll claw. Meri breaks from the window. Her eyes darkened. She already is. Did you notice her expression in there? That wasn't fear. That was anger. And angry people, they make bad decisions. The room grows quiet. They've all known Robyn. They've all lived in her world for years. She was never merely the new wife. She was a strategist, a tactician, who could weep and use those tears as weapons. And now that she's cornered, no one has any idea what she'll do. Christine leans forward, her voice soft, steady. Then we hold together. That's how she defeated us the last time. Divide and conquer. Not this time. Not again. For the first time in years, Meri nods in agreement. There is no hesitation in her tone. As she continues, we can't wait for the sale of the mansion. We need to get deeper. If there's more money stashed, if there are accounts in Robyn's name, we need to discover them. Janelle chews her lip, anxious but resolute. And if what we discover is worse than we thought, Christine does not flinch, then we reveal it. Everything. Underscore, 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 underscore. In Robyn's living room, the discussion turns sinister. Kody finally breaks his silence, his tone weighed with anger. This is all you're doing. You wanted the mansion. You wanted the lifestyle. And now, look what it's cost us. Robyn spins around to face him, blazing eyes. My fault? You're the one who left everyone in limbo. You're the one who promised things you couldn't deliver. Don't even think about blaming this on me. Kody stands, his muscles coiled, the veins bulging on his neck. I held this family together for as long as I could. And what reward do I receive? Christine leaves, Janelle leaves, Meri leaves, and now they want blood. They want all that I built. Robyn doesn't blink. Instead, she steps forward, her tone low, slicing. Then perhaps it's time to remind them who they're messing with. Kody stops, studying her expression. For the first time in years, there's something in Robyn's eyes that he doesn't know. Not fear, not grief, something colder. What am I supposed to do? He asks warily. Robyn takes a slow breath, as if trying to measure every word. I'm saying if they think they've won, they're wrong. Because I have something they don't. And if I use it, everything changes. Can Robyn actually possess a hidden advantage over the OG3? Or is this merely another bluff in her master plan? The OG3 are not aware yet, but Robyn has already made her next move. That evening, she takes a fat folder from a locked file drawer in her office. In it are the documents, ancient business filings, bank transfers, signed agreements when the family first relocated to Las Vegas, and subsequently, when they relocated everything for Flagstaff. There is one document that jumps out, a payment years in the past, masquerading as an LLC of the family name. Not illegal, on the face of it. But if Christine, Janelle, and Meri were to read it, then they'd have a very clear idea just how much of their money went into Robyn's universe unbeknownst to them. Robyn's hand shakes as she turns the pages. Her thoughts are in turmoil. If this leaks out, it would be a disaster. But if she can spin it, if she can make it seem like the OG3 signed off on it, perhaps she can reverse the situation. She shuts the folder, her mind made up. She won't merely defend herself, she'll attack. A week after, in Christine's kitchen, the women convene once more. This time, they are not alone. Their lawyer, a keen-eyed woman, with a pile of papers, spreads new evidence on the table. There's more, she states flatly. Robyn's lawyer filed a motion this morning. They're saying the $2.8 million is an overstatement, that money was never spent inappropriately, and they've made counterclaims. If this holds up, she might well turn it around on you. Christine grabs a paper, reading frantically. This is absurd. We lived it. We watched where the money went. How can she disavow it? The tone of the attorney is bleak. She's not only denying it, she's blaming. From this motion you, Christine, Janelle, and Meri, knew about the financial decisions. If the judge accepts this, you could all end up owing rather than collecting. The room erupts. Janelle's hands go to her face. No, no, that can't be possible. She can't turn this around on us. Meri's voice trembles with rage. She'll incinerate the entire family before she'll admit fault. Christine slaps the paper onto the table, her own eyes blazing. Then we get burned along with her. For I will not stand by and let her rewrite history. Can you imagine being seconds from winning, to learn that the other side has discovered a means of making your victory into a devastating loss? Tension mounts. The next hearing is on the horizon, and for the OG3, a celebration of their first win, has become a tempest of fear. But Robyn sits in her office late at night, staring at that locked cabinet, at the folder that could make or break everything. Her children sleep upstairs, unaware that their home, their security, hangs by a thread. She whispers into the silence, "I'll protect you, no matter what it costs." The cost, however, is yet to be revealed, because buried in those documents is not only one questionable transfer, but dozens. Enough to tear apart everything the Browns ever created. Enough to turn not only wife against wife, but child against child. And with the next court date nearing, one thing is certain, this isn't just about money anymore. It's about survival. Christine is woken up by a late-night phone call. It's their lawyer, her voice frantic. "We discovered something Robyn didn't want us to discover. But Christine, you should steel yourself. Because once this is made public, there's no turning back." The call drops, leaving Christine immobile in the dark, the burden of what's to come bearing down on her like a thunderhead. The Flagstaff evening is unnervingly silent, the sort of quiet that seems almost to be listened. Christine is in her living room, phone held firmly to her ear, knuckles pale. The attorney's words are ringing in her head like a drumbeat. "We found something. Once this comes out, there's no going back." Christine does not sleep that evening. She walks back and forth. She goes over every memory, every late-night discussion with Kody, every occasion Robyn said she had no choice but to rely on family finances. Everything sounds differently now. It sounds planned. By dawn, Christine calls Janelle and Meri. Within hours, the three women sit around Christine's kitchen table, eyes red from lack of sleep, steaming mugs of coffee untouched. Their attorney spreads a stack of documents across the table. Those, the lawyer indicates, pointing to the papers, are payments Robyn and Kody made in the name of the family LLC. Not one or two, dozen. And how much was taken altogether? She waits for the dramatic effect to build. More than $4 million. The room erupts. Christine clutches the arm of her chair. $4 million? That's not favoritism. That's stealing. Janelle's head shakes in shock. How did we miss it? How could we have been so blind? Meri responds curtly, her voice bitter and low. Because we trusted them. And that was our error. What if the betrayal you believed you were seeing was only the tip of the iceberg, and the reality was even more sinister than you had imagined? Back in her mansion meanwhile, Robyn has that same locked folder on the desk in front of her. Papers are scattered everywhere like a battle map. Kody stands behind her, pacing, fuming. "We can't let them get their hands on this," Kody grumbles, his tone acute. "If they lay eyes on these transfers, they'll bury us alive." Robyn gazes up, glassy-eyed but ferocious. "Then we don't let them. We fight. We tell the court those transfers were for the family. Medical bills, moving expenses, investment. We spin it until they can't distinguish between the truth and a lie." Kody cuts off his pacing, glares down at her, and when the truth comes out, Robyn's jaw clenches. "Then we remind them what's on the line." Christine, Janelle, Meri, they believe this is all about money. But for me it's about my children. And if I have to burn every bridge in order to protect them, I will. For the first time, Kody doesn't fight back. He just slumps into the chair opposite her, the burden of years pressing down on his shoulder. At Christine's, the atmosphere shifts from shock to determination. Janelle starts, her words shaking but firm. "We can't just jump over this. $4 million. That's not favoritism. That's betrayal on a level we can't ignore." Christine nods, her eyes blazing. "Then back to court. We present it all to them. Let Robyn justify these transfers under oath." Meri pauses, her eyes far off. "And what if she does? What if she spins it like she always does? Tears, excuses, the whole thing. Judges fall for that. Kody falls for that. Everyone falls for that." Christine leans forward, her tone cutting. "Not this time. Not when we have proof." Her lawyer slips one last document across the table. "There's one other thing. Those transfers, they weren't all for the mansion. Some of them originate with a private account in Robyn's name alone. If we can link that, the case changes from civil disagreement to possible fraud. The room falls silent. Even Christine, so combative just moments before, is struck by the gravity of those words. Fraud. It's no longer about money, it's criminal. Imagine finding out that the battle you believed was personal might now become criminal, and the stakes are higher than anyone ever had reason to believe. The next appearance in court has been scheduled. Reporters mob the courthouse entrance. The headlines splashed across newsstands. Fraud allegations and sister wives' legal war. Within, the tension is more palpable than ever. Christine, Janelle, and Meri wait as one, a wall of resolve. Down the aisle, Robyn and Kody come in, pale but calm, their lawyer striding in with a fat briefcase held tightly against his body like a shield. When proceedings open, the voice of the judge rings out. New evidence has been filed. We will hear arguments on its admissibility. Christine's lawyer stands up first, presenting the transfer, the accounts, the suspicious pattern. Every piece of paper is like a sword tossed across the aisle. Robyn sits rigid, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Kody squirms uncomfortably, eyes flashing the press gallery. Next, Robyn's lawyer stands. His voice is silky, rehearsed. Your Honor, these so-called transfers were family choices, sanctioned at the time. My client was acting in good faith. The plaintiffs, however, want to rewrite history. Personal grief. Christine jumps up from her seat, not able to remain quiet. Personal grievances, we lived this. We saw every penny redirected into her life, while we struggle. The gavel rings out. Mrs. Brown, please calm down. Christine takes a seat, panting, but her angry stare never leaves Robyn. And then she does it. Robyn stands, despite her lawyer's urging, her voice shaking but sufficiently loud to quiet the room. You think I wanted this? She weeps, eyes brimming with, you think I volunteered to be the bad person? Story. I did what I needed to do for my children, to provide them with a safe haven. And now you are going to take that away from them? What are you, mother? Gasp waves through the courtroom. The judge even seems disturbed. Robyn returns to her, shaking her lawyer, muttering angrily in her ear. Is Robyn collapsing, or is this just another act, deliberately played to influence the court? Outside the courtroom, emotions spill over. The media pack both sides. Christine, her tongue cutting, pronounced, this is not about children. This is about and we will not rest until Robyn, covered by Kody and her lawyer, slurs under her breath loudly enough for camera to pick up. They'll destroy this family just to suffer. The rift is total. Anything remaining of sisterhood is finished. Later that night, Christine sits alone, replaying Robyn's words in her mind. She feels the sting of them, the guilt they're meant to provoke. But beneath that guilt is rage. Because Christine knows, Robyn's not just protecting her kids. She's protecting something bigger, something darker, something darker. Her phone buzzes. It's a text from the attorney. Call me. We found another account. This one isn't in Robyn, it's in Kody. Christine's blood runs cold. Christine calls right away, shaking. On the other line is her lawyer's grave voice. Christine, listen close. If this story is what we believe it is, then Robyn is not the only one at risk. Kody may be charged as well. And if that happens, this whole family explodes. Christine lets the phone slip, gazing off into the blackness, understanding the fight isn't so much against Robyn, it's against Kody himself. The revelation of Kody's secret account looms like a thunderstorm in his head. For days she can hardly eat. Each time she closes her eyes, she is aware of numbers, papers that don't belong. This is no longer Robyn's battle. It's Kody. And if the court approves the fresh evidence, the backlash will destroy him entirely. Christine brings Janelle and Meri together once more. The three of them sitting in the stillness are living. Outside, the Flagstaff wind whines, but within, the stillness weighs. Janelle trails her fingers along the rim of her face washed out. It's true. Kody's payment attached to the LLC family fund transfer. He wasn't just letting Robyn take. He was in on it. Christine's voice shakes in anger. He constructed a whole life with our money. He made us struggle while they lived like royalty. Meri looks at her expression in scrutiny. And now, if the court hears this, he's not only guilty of betrayal, he's guilty of fraud. The word hangs in the air like something poison. Fraud. Not favor, not manipulation. Fraud. Can you envision becoming aware the man you'd once trusted might have been arranging your downfall the entire time? In Robyn's mansion, things are altogether different. Robyn and Kody sit side by side in the living room, the fire burning in the fireplace, but warmth doesn't penetrate to them. Robyn's eyes puff from crying, her hands clenched around the edge of, they're coming you now. It's not me they want anymore. They want to pull you down with them. Kody leans forward, elbows on knee, face clenched fury. They've always wanted that. They couldn't bear I picked you. They couldn't bear you and I created something stronger. This is revenge. Robyn gazes at him, her voice cracking. But suppose they do. Suppose they win and take it all. Kody shakes his head forcefully. They won't, because I won't allow it. I'll get up in court. I'll tell the judge they can spin it all they like, but I'll ensure the truth. Robyn's lips quiver. And what is that? Kody pauses, only brief before responding. Because I did what I needed to do to keep his family alive. The next court hearing is the most packed of all. Reporters pack the hallway. Commentators gossip on live TV. Will Kody Brown be charged with fraud? Sister-wives scandal. The circus outside, but within the courtroom, the tension is knife-sharp. Christine, Janelle, become all of them burdened years on they're no longer wives, they're warriors. Down the aisle and Robyn, holding hands, but their togetherness tenuous fragile, like a porcelain vase already. The judge sits, his face. Before us today is new evidence presented by the plaintiff. Mr. Brown, Miss Brown, this involves money accounts directly to family property. We now hear argument. The lawyer for the plaintiff stands up, spreading the paper care. Your Honor's transcripts demonstrate a stark pattern of money siphoning accounts. This is not by accident. This is deception. Crisps Robyn, for the first time detects not the performance, not the crocodile, but genuine. Robyn's grip on Kody's hand is so hard his knuckles. Robyn's lawyer stands, his tone crisp. Your charges are speculative. The plaintiff trying to analyze financial choice prior. This family lived outside the money was pooled, deflated. There was no fraud. Just but then expects. Kody himself stands up, clears his throat, his voice enough to stop the honor. I must. The judge's face darkened. Mr. This is extreme irregular. I know corrupt. His voice trembled. But I won't sit here while they call me. I created this. I gave up things and now they want to destroy because they can't stand that I chose Robyn. Gasp spreads throughout the courtroom. Stands up, her anger burning her eyes. You did not sacrifice for us, Kody. You left us behind. You sucked us dry so she could at mansion house while we on street. The judge bangs the gavel. Order. But Christine doesn't let up. Her voice cracks. Do you even recall the nights, the times Janelle had to gas? You let us suffocate while you the palace. The court was charged. All eyes are on her anguish naked, her voice a wall. What if you finally speak is also thing? Robyn stands up, her voice high-pitched. That's not fair. None of you think I asked for that? You think I wanted? I never did want that. I wanted family. And you, he gestures at Christine. Then you never accepted. You despise me. Her words hang heavy. Tears spill down her cheeks, but they're not soft tears. They're hot, angry tears. Janelle stands, her voice shaking. We didn't hate you, Robyn. We welcomed you. We trusted you. And you turned that trust into a weapon. Meri, the quiet one, finally opens her mouth. Her voice is deep, measured, crushing. I lost my marriage so Kody could marry you. I signed the papers thinking it was for the family. And what did I receive in return? Nothing but deception. Robyn buries her face in her hands, crying. Kody puts a tentative arm around her, but his eyes scan the room anxiously, aware of the damage that has been done. The judge leans forward, his words slicing through the tumult. Enough. This is not a court for personal complaint. We will reconvene after examination of the documents involved. Court is adjourned, the gavel falls, but the reverberations linger. As the families leave, the air is heavy with tension. Christine's chest is pounding, her words still echoing in her own ears. Janelle blinks away tears, her hands shaking. Meri moves stiffly, her face a mask. On the other side, Robyn hugs Kody, her cries muted against his shoulder. But when they emerge outside into the blinding cameras, her tears are gone. Her face sets. She whispers into Kody's ear, her voice low, cold. If they want war, we'll give them war. But what kind of war is Robyn planning? And how far is she willing to go to protect herself? That evening, Christine sits by herself once more, gazing at the ceiling. Her phone beeps yet another message from the lawyer. The judge demands complete financial disclosure on the part of Robyn and Kody, bank statements, tax returns, the works. If they withhold anything, it's perjury. Christine breathes shakily. She experiences something for the first time that isn't purely anger. It's terror. Because she knows Kody. She knows Robyn. And when they're backed into a corner, they won't merely fight back. They'll set everything on fire. The screen goes black as Robyn stands in her dark office, shuffling through the folder of classified documents. She stops on one page, an account statement with Kody's name printed boldly. A wicked grin spreads across her face. She mutters to herself, "If they want to reveal us, let's see how much of them makes it through the fire." The air in the courtroom seems thicker this morning. Thicker, darker, as if everyone senses that something huge is going to erupt. Reporters outside repeat questions in a chant. Camera strobes blind the family as they enter. But in here, it's silence, silence, silence. The judge has commanded both Robyn and Kody to bring in their entire financial records, and today they will be questioned. Christine sits at the plaintiff's table, her heart pounding so loudly she can hear it in her ears. Beside her, Janelle clutches her notepad so tightly the paper crumples. Meri, stiff as stone, keeps her eyes fixed straight ahead. They don't speak, but the weight between them is palpable. This isn't just a legal battle anymore. This is survival. Across the table, Robyn and Kody whisper softly, urgently. Their attorneys pile thick binders of bank reports and account ledgers on the table. Robyn's mascara is perfect, her hair slicked back, but her eyes, that look in her eyes resembles glass, brittle and keen. Kody speaks softly beside her. "Stay calm. Don't let them make you break." Robyn nods, her hand shaking as she opens the binder. For the first time, she's not just a victim, she's the one in the limelight. What happens when the mask finally slips, and the truth is too big to hide? The plaintiff's lawyer starts, his words sharp and biting. "Your Honor, the records indicate a trend of withdrawals and transfers out of the family account. Money earned collectively in the early Sister Wives seasons, funneled into accounts in the name of Robyn Brown. Those funds were then spent on personal property purchases, such as the Flagstaff mansion." Christine blinks, her eyes closed for an instant, the words ringing in her mind. This is it. Evidence. But then the defense lawyer stands up, his voice thundering. "Your Honor, these alleged patterns are merely the Browns' non-traditional lifestyle in dollars and cents. This was a multi-woman household, sharing finances. These wives voluntarily pooled money. To allege fraud now is rewriting history." Christine cannot remain quiet. She stands up, her voice shaking but firm enough to demand notice. "I did not willingly sacrifice my children's college funds so Robyn could live like royalty. I did not consent to struggle while they forged their dream existence. This is not confusion. It's theft." The judge slams down the gavel, demanding order. But the harm is done. Christine's tirade cuts through the courtroom like a knife. The cross-examination commences. Robyn stands, her slight form dwarfed by the massive witness chair. She wipes at her eyes with a tissue before the initial question is even asked. "Mrs. Brown," the attorney for the plaintiff starts, "may I ask you why $480,000 was deposited from the family account into your own account in 2018? Robyn sniffles, her voice trembling. That money was for family expenses. For moving, for the children. Kody and we decided it was needed." Christine inches forward, grumbling under her breath. "Family expenses? While my kids were sleeping in bedrooms 2 at a time, you installed chandeliers." The attorney persists. "And why, Mrs. Brown, was almost the same amount taken out again 2 weeks later and used to help pay down on the Flagstaff property?" Robyn blinks furiously, her throat constricting. "I don't recall exactly. Kody took care of that. I trusted him." Everyone's gaze turns to Kody. His jaw clenches, his fists bunched on the table. Sometimes the most threatening truth isn't in the papers. It's in the silence that comes after the question. Janelle can no longer keep quiet. She breathes urgently into Christine's ear. She's throwing him under the bus. Christine nods, seeing Robyn's tears change to quivering blame. "It's subtle, but it's there. Each 'I trusted him,' each 'Kody handled it,' is a dart aimed at the man sitting next to her." When Kody finally gets up on the stand, the mood changes again. He doesn't bawl, he doesn't falter. He leans forward, holding the armrest, his eyes burning. "I did what I had to do," he declares, voice booming across the courtroom. "We were in debt up to our eyeballs. TLC wasn't covering enough to support 4 families. So yeah, I juggled money. Yeah, I made decisions. Because if I hadn't, we'd all be living on the streets now." Christine stands again, voice shaking with fury. "We weren't homeless, Kody. We were abandoned. You didn't rescue us. You traded us." The gavel strikes once more, but the judge refuses to interrupt the stream. He listens intently, balancing every word, every fissure in the illusion. "That night, Outside the courthouse, the world is waiting. Reporters thrust microphones under chin lines. Cameras buzz around the Browns like flies. Headlines blaze on every screen. Kody Brown confesses to funneling money. Robyn accuses husband in court. Sister-wives scandal hits breaking point. Christine hardly reaches her vehicle before she starts to cry. Her entire body shakes, tears streaming uncontrollably. Janelle hugs her, whispering, "We're almost there, Christine. We're almost free." But Christine isn't so sure. She feels empty, like regardless of what the judge says, they've already lost too much. How do you fight for justice when every victory still feels like a loss? Meanwhile, within the mansion that evening, Kody and Robyn remain silent. The fire dwindles low. Shadows cast long upon the room. "You threw me under the bus today." Kody finally explodes, his voice icy. Robyn's eyes flash. "I did what I had to do. Do you want me to go to prison, Kody? Do you?" He glares back at her, veins pulsing in his temples. "If I fall, you fall with me. Don't ever forget that." Robyn rises to her feet, the tears forgotten, replaced by anger. "Perhaps that is where we are different. I will do whatever I must to live, even if it kills you." The silence following those words is screaming. Kody looks at her as if he's seeing her anew. Not the innocent sobbing wife, but the woman who will do whatever it takes to save herself. And within the silence, something in him shatters. Day 2 of court. The plaintiff's lawyer drops the bomb. "Your Honor, we have evidence from a financial analyst who examined the records. The transfers were intentional. The accounts were masked. This was not an accident. This was manipulated." The analyst is called to testify, recounting in methodical professional terms how money was shifted in tiny amounts, across multiple accounts, then back into the LLC under Robyn's management. "This is the act," the expert determines, "of a person willfully hiding financial activity." Robyn's face goes pale. Kody pounds his fist on the table, his voice booming. "Lies. It's all lies." The judge pounds the gavel, his voice booming. "That is enough, Mr. Brown. You will be in control, or you will be taken out of this courtroom." Kody leans back in his chair, but his eyes crackle with stark desperation. He understands what this is. He understands the walls closing in. When the walls of truth begin to close in around you, will you struggle to break out, or allow yourself to be crushed? Christine stands frozen, her body trembling, watching the anarchy erupt. She pleaded for fairness, for notice, for justice, for years. And now, seated in this courtroom, she sees that justice isn't just a hope, it's within her grasp. But she knows something more sinister too. Kody will not go quietly. And if Robyn is so desperate to lose him, the next step will be merciless. As court adjourns, Robyn slips a folded note into her attorney's hand. He glances at it, his expression hardening. Christine catches the movement, her stomach twisting. Later that night, as Christine prepares for bed, her phone buzzes with an anonymous message. She opens it, her blood running cold. "You think you've won. But tomorrow everything changes." The screen fades to black. The day of the next hearing, Christine wakes up with that mysterious message still burned into her head. "Tomorrow everything changes." The words reverberate like a warning. She had hardly slept, lying awake, her mind whirling between fear and rage. Janelle rings her before dawn. "Did you receive the same text?" Christine freezes. "What text?" Janelle breathes shakily. "I received it too. Same words. No number, no name. Just that warning." Christine's gut tightened. It has to be Robyn, or Kody. They're trying to intimidate us. But beneath that, Christine senses something darker. It isn't intimidation, it's a threat. What if the warning before the storm is more frightening than the storm itself? By 9 a.m., the courthouse is ringed. News vans, camera-wielding reporters, fans holding homemade signs, half for Christine, Janelle, and Meri, half screaming Robyn and Kody's names, like it's a campaign rally. It's tense inside. The judge bangs the court to order, already looking exhausted. He knows today is going to be brutal. The plaintiff's lawyer starts, his tone crisp. "Your Honor, yesterday we offered proof of secret accounts. Today we will offer testimony that demonstrates that these transfers were deliberate, orchestrated, and benefited Mrs. Brown, at the expense of the other wives." Robyn stands upright in her chair, but her knuckles are pale. Kody reclines with forced bravado, his mouth set in a hard line. He's prepared to battle, no matter how ugly it becomes. Underscore, 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 underscore. The first witness is a one-time financial advisor who used to work with the Browns. His gray hair shimmers under the lights as he clears his throat. In my expert opinion, he states firmly, voice level, the accounts in question were constructed specifically to conceal the flow of funds. This was not careless mismanagement. This was intended. The courtroom hums. Christine squeezes Janelle's hand beneath the table. They're finally hearing someone else affirm what they've long suspected. But then Robyn's lawyer rises, striding back and forth like a wild animal. Sir, isn't it true you were fired from the Browns' employ after you had a fight with Mr. Brown? The witness bristled. Yes, but that doesn't have anything to do with my professional opinion. The lawyer smirks. No further question. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an angry ex-employee. Nothing more. The seed of doubt is sown. Christine sees her blood boil. She realizes this is how Kody operates. Twist, deflect, demolish. Truth can be crystal clear, and yet still blurred by a single seed of doubt. The actual bombshell is yet to come. Robyn returns to the stand, but this time she doesn't weep. Her tears are nowhere to be found. Her demeanor is impeccable, her voice steady, almost cold. Your Honor, she starts. I must clarify something. Yes, funds were transferred, but those were not my choices. They were Kody's. The courtroom gasps. Kody's head whips in her direction. What? Robyn goes on, her voice steady. He instructed me on where to sign, what accounts to set up, what to do. I didn't question it because I trusted him. If there was fraud, I was a victim too. Kody jumps to his feet, his face red with anger. That's a lie. You begged me to move that money. You wanted that mansion. Don't you dare put this on me. Pounds the gavel, his voice thundering. Mr. Brown, sit down. But it's too late. The courtroom has already gone into a deadlock. Reporters scurry and start writing. The galleries buzz like waves across the auditorium. Christine is hardly able to breathe. She whispers to Janelle. She's turning on him. She's cutting him loose. Janelle nods, eyes wide. And he didn't see it coming. When the meeting adjourns for lunch, the Browns break up and repair to the various corners. Christine, Janelle and Meri coalesce near the exit. She's throwing him under the bus, Christine says. Finally, Meri shakes her head, speaking quietly. Don't trust it. Robyn doesn't do anything without a reason. If she's pinning this on Kody, it's because she thinks it'll save her. Christine swallows hard. Meri is right. This isn't victory. It's another game. Down the corridor meanwhile, Kody and Robyn are engaged in their own battle. You set me up, Kody growls, his words ringing off the marble. Robyn's face flashes with anger. I set you up. You pulled me into this crap, Kody. I was only trying to construct a life for us. And now look, we're one step from jail, because you couldn't keep your ego in check. He moves nearer, quivering in his fists at his sides. If I fall, you're coming with me, he warns. Don't forget that. Robyn shows no sign of fear. Leaning toward him, she utters the sentence in a voice cold enough to freeze the air. Try me. When friends turn to foe, not justice but survival is at stake. The afternoon hearing is even more somber. The plaintiff's lawyer produces receipt, actual receipt, hotel reservations, jewelry purchases, credit card statements correlated to the accounts in question. Christine gapes at the shiny photographs of diamond necklaces, her gut roiling. Every receipt is a slap, evidence of years she spent pleading for justice while they indulged. Janelle whispers, that's money for tuition. That's money for groceries. That's everything we sacrifice. On the other side of the aisle, Kody bangs his hand on the table. This is absurd. We worked for that money. I had the authority to direct how it was spent. The judge glares at him. Mr. Brown, one further outburst, and I will hold you in contempt. Kody slumps back in his chair, but his chest rises and falls with anger. He glances at Robyn, hoping she'll support him, but she doesn't. She sits stony-faced, lips clamped shut. Christine gets her voice, quivering but resolute. Your Honor, I dedicated decades of my life to this family. I had children. I sacrificed aspiration. I believed in something greater than myself. And meanwhile, Kody and Robyn were constructing their kingdom on my back. This isn't columns of figures on paper. This is my life. This is my children's future. The courtroom goes silent. Even the judge appears to be moved. For the first time, Christine doesn't sound like a mere plaintiff. She sounds like the emotional center of the story. The most powerful weapon in any courtroom isn't evidence. It's the voice of the betrayed. As evening approaches, the judge rubs his temples with a sigh. We will resume tomorrow and continue witness testimony and study more papers. In the meantime, I ask all parties to ready themselves. This case is heating up fast. The gavel comes down. Court is dismissed. Christine breathes a sigh, her body shaking. She has walked through a war zone. But it's not over. It's just the beginning. As she packs up, she catches Robyn's eye across the room. They lock gazes. For an instant, there is no tear, no makeup, no drama, just hard calculation. And Christine gets it, Robyn isn't done. Not even close. Outside the courthouse that evening, Kody brushes by reporters in silence. But Robyn hesitates. She gazes at the cameras, her face meticulously made up. I just want the truth to come out, she says, her voice soft but clear. I trusted Kody. If he betrayed that trust, I'll let the court decide. The headlines write themselves. Robyn turns on Kody. Shock testimony splits sister-wives couple. Kody alone against the OG3. Christine watches from home, stunned. Robyn isn't just defending herself. She's rewriting the entire story, painting herself as another victim. And the public is eating it up. Late that night, Christine gets another anonymous message. Only this time, it is not a threat, it is a picture. A document shows up on the screen. A deed transfer. Robyn's mansion, signed over to a shell corporation, just days before the trial started. Christine's heart thumps as she realizes Robyn isn't just fighting in court. She's moving the pieces outside of it too. The screen goes dark again. The deed transfer photograph lies heaviest in Christine's lap. She gazes at it deep into the night, her own hands shaking as she clutches the proof. Robyn has already started to relocate assets out of sight. The mansion, the same mansion that forms the focus of the case, is gone, transferred to a ghost company that no one has ever heard mention. Christine feels the walls of her living room come in on her. After all of it, after all those years of deceit, and all those months of fighting in court, Robyn is still ahead. She's not just battling in the courtroom, she's wiping out the battlefield altogether. Janelle shows up a few minutes after Christine's frantic call. She examines the photo with wide eyes. If this is true, she's attempting to conceal the property before the judge can take it. Christine nods, her throat dry. It means she's guilty, but it means she's desperate too. Meri stands against the wall, her arms folded tightly. Desperate individuals are volatile. We need to walk carefully, because when desperation is in charge, people will burn the house down just to keep from losing it. The next morning, the courthouse is noisier than ever. Protesters, supporters, and celebrity-mad fans throng the steps. Signs wave above them. Justice for the OG3. And stand with Robyn. The media circus is oppressive, but in the courtroom, a more subdued tempest is forming. The judge's expression is severe as the hearing starts. I have been informed of alleged asset transfers in the course of the trial. If it is true, it is a breach of court orders. Robyn's lawyer immediately protests. Your Honor, plaintiffs are attempting to defame my client on the basis of hearsay. No transfer has occurred. Christine's lawyer stands up slowly. His voice remains level. Or perhaps Mrs. Brown can shed some light on why this deed was filed just last week. He holds up a printed copy of the document Christine had received in an anonymous package. The room detonates. Gasps, murmurs, whispers fill the air. Robyn's face bleached white, but she covers it up quickly with a trembly smile. That can't be right, she stammers. I don't know anything about that. Kody pounds his fist on the table. Liar, you said last week you were taking precaution. This is what you meant, isn't it? Robyn's eyes flash, her voice increasing. You gave me no choice. You brought us into this mess, Kody, and I had to defend myself. The judge thumps the gavel. Order. Order in the court. But now, it's too late. For the first time, Robyn's flawless veneer has holes big enough for everyone to look through. Christine sits forward, her voice shaking with contained anger. Your Honor, this is precisely what we've been telling you. Robyn has been embezzling money, transferring assets, covering her trail, and now we have evidence. The judge slowly nods, his face inscrutable. If this document is substantiated, Mrs. Brown, It will be very damaging to your credibility. I will need immediate disclosure of all property transfers in the past 6 months. Robyn's eyes widen as she swallows hard, her hands fidgeting in her lap. She's trapped, and Christine senses, for the first time, that justice is possible. But just when victory feels close enough to touch, that's when the ground often gives way beneath your feet. The recess period comes, and Christine goes outside to get some fresh air. Arizona was extremely hot, yet she could hardly feel it. She felt trembling with fear, and her heart was pounding wildly with adrenaline. Suddenly, a voice cut through the assembled throng. Christine. She turns to see Robyn, standing just a few feet away, flanked by her attorney, but glaring directly at her. Her eyes are wild, her tone low and venomous. You think you've won, don't you? Robyn hisses. You think you're the hero here, but you're not. You're just bitter. And when this is over, no one will remember your tears. They'll remember mine. Christine takes deep breaths. Perhaps, but at least my tears were genuine. Two women gaze at each other for an instant, years of anguish and deception seething between them. Then Robyn turns and sprints away, her heels clicking on the concrete. Janelle moves up beside Christine, whispering, "Don't let her get inside your head. She's losing. She knows it." Christine tries to nod, but a knot forms in her stomach. Robyn's words weren't hollow. They were a threat. Back in the courtroom, the attorney for the plaintiffs calls the next witness, a forensic accountant. Charts, graphs, and timelines flash on the courtroom screens, illustrating how money flowed from the family account to Robyn's Shell LLC. Each transfer, the expert says, was willful and hidden. This is not standard household management. This is financial abuse. The judge inches forward, his brow knitted in concern. And you're saying both Mr. and Mrs. Brown knew about these transfers? The accountant nods resolutely. Yes, the forms are signed by both of them. Gasps spread through the room once more. Christine's pulse beats faster. Proof. Finally, irrefutable proof. Kody bangs back into his chair, yelling, "That's a lie. I never signed those forms." The accountant coolly shuffles another sheet of paper across the table. Your signature, Mr. Brown. On 3 different transactions. The courtroom is holding its breath. Sometimes the biggest denial can only be heard as the louder silence of the evidence. Robyn tenses, her mask slipping further. She twitches, bites her lip, and mutters something to her lawyer. But Christine sees something peculiar. Robyn isn't frantically panicked as she was before. She seems calculating, as if she has one final move to make. The plaintiff's attorney continued. Your Honor, this is enough to establish intent. The OG3 are entitled to restitution. They are entitled to justice. The judge waves his hand. I will not rule today. We reconvene tomorrow for closing arguments. The gavel comes down. Court is adjourned. That night, Christine, Janelle, and Meri sit in Christine's kitchen. The tension hangs in the air, thick with expectation, fear, and weariness. We're winning. Janelle whispers. We finally have them. Christine nods, but warily says, don't get too excited. Robyn's too relaxed. She's up to something. Meri sips tea, her gaze icy. Let her plot. Whatever she plots, it will not destroy the truth. Christine is less certain than Meri. She recalls the threatening letters, the copy of the deed photo, the poison in Robyn's glare. Tomorrow is closing arguments, and Christine can feel in her bones that Robyn has reserved her most treacherous move for tomorrow. The peace before the verdict isn't tranquility. It's the quiet before the last shot. Late that evening, Christine is by herself when her phone vibrates once more. Another anonymous message. Her hands shake as she read it. This time it's not a document. It's a picture of her home. From outside. From tonight. Underneath it, just 5 words. You don't know everything yet. Christine's breath hitches in her throat. The camera lingers on her frightened face as the screen goes dark. The courthouse is different this morning, heavier. As Christine steps through the tall wooden doors, the familiar bedlam of reporters and protesters churns outside. But within, there's a crushing quiet. Everyone is aware today is the final day. Janelle walks beside her, her hand tracing Christine's arm for reassurance. Meri is right behind her, her jaw locked, her face white. None of them slept following last night's anonymous message. The picture of Christine's house is seared into her brain. Was it Robyn? Was it someone else? The question hangs around like smoke. Christine catches her breath as she sits down. Today, everything comes down to closing argument, because in a courtroom, the last words uttered can rewrite the entire narrative. The judge arrives. We will now have closing argument. Plaintiffs first. Christine's lawyer stands. His voice is quiet but piercing, each syllable cutting through the silent room. Your Honor, this case is one of betrayal. Not only of contracts or money, but of trust. For decades my clients, Christine, Janelle and Meri Brown, were sustaining a family that was founded on promises. They gave everything, their time, their love, their money. But while they gave, Kody and Robyn Brown skimmed money, transferred assets, and constructed a mansion on deceit. He stops, allowing the words to linger. Christine's throat constricts as visions of late nights, unpaid bills, and constant sacrifices rush back to her. They were promised fairness, the lawyer goes on. But what did they get? They got robbed, emotionally and financially. And when this court demanded transparency, what did Mrs. Brown do? She secretly signed the title of the mansion over to her son. That isn't an accident, that's intent. He moves in closer to the judge. Your Honor, this isn't about figures on a page, it's about justice. The OG3 are owed restitution, they are owed dignity, and they are owed closure. Christine blots away a tear from her cheek. The years weigh heavy on her shoulders, but in this instant, she feels relieved, because at last their tale has been told. Now it is Robyn's turn. She rises, her hands gripping the podium so hard her knuckles whiten. Her eyes shine with unshed tears. I never wanted this, she starts, her voice shaking. I never wanted to be here, in this courtroom to battle against women who were once sisters to me. I was simply trying to defend my family, defend my children, defend our future. She wipes away at her eyes, but her voice grows louder, harder now. Yes, I sold the property. Yes, I made decisions that perhaps don't look so good on paper. But I did them because they were after me. They were manipulating everything, making me out to be a villain, when all I ever wanted was peace. Kody nods angrily from his chair, his voice interrupting. She's telling the truth. They disliked her from the first day. This isn't about money, this is revenge. The judge bangs the gavel. Mr. Brown, you will be quiet. Robyn bends forward, her eyes fixed on Christine. You don't care about justice, you just want to watch me get destroyed. And you may well win today, but you'll never be able to wipe out the fact that I was the one Kody chose, not you. The room gasps. Christine's gut twists, but she maintains a serene face. The truth is out. Robyn has nothing else left but spite. And when spite is all that is left, you know the fight is already lost. The judge rocks back in his chair, expressionless. The silence hangs until it becomes excruciating. At last he speaks. I have heard both sides diligently. I have considered the evidence, the transfers, the signatures, the testimony. And although this case is full of personal sorrow, my responsibility is to the law. He stopped. Christine's heart is thudding so hard that she can feel it in her ears. It is the order of this court that Robyn Brown sell her mansion and apply the proceeds to the payment of $2.8 million in restitution to Christine, Janelle, and Meri Brown. The gavel bangs. The sound rings out like thunder. The courtroom erupts. Gasps, murmurs, reporters scrambling to get every word. Christine feels her knees buckle, and Janelle grabs her hand. Meri exhales sharply, her eyes filling with tears. Robyn collapses back into her chair, her face pale, her body shaking. Kody leaps to his feet, shouting, "You can't do this. That house is ours. You're destroying us." The judge doesn't even look at him. "Mr. Brown, sit down, or you'll be held in contempt." Christine feels tears streaming down her face. For years she dreamed of this moment, but standing in it, she doesn't feel victorious. She feels broken, relieved and scared all at once. The courtroom empties slowly, chaos spilling into the hallways. Reporters swarm, microphones and cameras flashing, but Christine barely hears them. Outside, the Arizona sun blinks her. She clings to Janelle's arm, muttering, "It's over. It's finally over." But is it? Her phone rings again. Another text. She hesitates, her hands shaking as she opens it. It's a video this time. Blurry, jerky video. It captures someone walking across her backyard last night, heavy breathing, muttering something too low to see. Christine's chest constricts. She forces the phone into her purse, her gaze scurrying through the throng. Robyn's on the other side of the courtyard, with her lawyer and supporters grouped around her. Their gazes cross for an instant. Robyn's face isn't fear anymore. It's something sinister. A smile. Cold. Knowing. Because sometimes winning in court doesn't mean the war is over. It only means the battlefield has changed. Christine sits in her living room that evening. The verdict documents laid out on the coffee table. The house is still, but her anxiety is burning. She jumps at every creak. Janelle calls, her tone warm but exhausted. We did it, Christine. We really did it. Christine puts on a smile. Yeah, we did. But when she hangs up, the smile drops from her face. She looks out the window. In the room outside, the shadows seem closer than ever before. The camera stays on her face, her eyes glancing nervously at the dark glass. In the quiet, the faint vibration of her phone cuts in. Another message. Just 4 words this time. This isn't the end. Fade to black. Because every ending leaves a question behind. And sometimes that question is the scariest part of all.